Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in May 2020. What's going on, Aries? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, friends, 5 months into this crazy year known as 2020. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How are you and your family and your friends? Hopefully everybody's well and healthy. We are still, where I live, under somewhat of a lockdown, somewhat of quarantine due to coronavirus, COVID-19. Hopefully, wherever you are, you're faring well, and if you're out and about, still continue to be safe, friends. I take as much precaution as is necessary when you're out in the world getting reacclimated and back to normal. But let's and if you're living somewhere where you absolutely are back to normal again, I'm happy for you. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm about to go into my 8th week of being home, working from home, and not really going out except for maybe once a week to go grocery shopping. So it's finally starting to take its toll on your girl, even though I still feel pretty strong in how I feel. But whatever, that's just me rambling on. Aries, welcome to your reading for May. As you can see, we've gone back to the old format for the monthlies, but the mid-monthlies we've shaken up a little bit. Anyway, if this is your first time here, thank you for being here. Consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting if you like the content. Okay, Aries, in your meditation, it felt pretty calm, but then also kind of like agitated. So I mean, that could be spring fever setting in, something like that. A lot of us are itching to get back out into the real world, back to our normally scheduled lives. So I could totally see that playing in effect due to your meditation, but I could be totally wrong. So let's just see what's going on, all right? Aries, I've shuffled off camera. That's your main spread there. I'm going to shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that is when the reading begins. You can check for the timestamp in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. It's always there for you when you need it, because I care about you, my friends. Also down there, you're going to find the information you need if you want to book a personal reading with me. If you have any questions before you place an order, feel free to email me. I have had more inquiries come in, so that's really fun, and I'm getting to know new clients. But before you place an order, if you're like unsure of what it all means, feel free to email me. It's not a big deal, and I will answer you as soon as I can. You will also see the link for my Instagram down there, EmpathicFire Tarot at Instagram, if you want at Instagram, like it's a place. But you can find me on Instagram at EmpathicFire Tarot. There might be a little icon right here, or a little title here that you can see that on screen in case you missed it. And other than that, my friends, that's it. I feel kind of weird getting back into these generals because I have been doing a lot of personals lately. So it's just a different energy that I'm feeling, like getting back into like reconnecting with multiple energies, or a wider, I guess, a larger bandwidth of energy versus like one very specific message. So we'll see what comes out. So Aries, let's get into it, okay? I want to see the outcome for Aries in May 2020. Outcome for Aries in May 2020, please show me. Oh, come on now. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Come on, why is it not straightening out? Thank you. Boom, like that. Let's go ahead and flip everything that came face down for you. That came out a lot in the pre-shuffle. The Chariot card. Oh boy. Oh boy, Aries, what's going on? Oh boy. A lot of majors, so definite strong energy, but let's go ahead and see what exactly is going on. All right, please show me where Aries is in May 2020. Please show me Aries in May 2020. Please show me. Okay, that was fast. All right, let's get into it. Aries, coming into May, you come in with the energy of the Lovers. Major Arcana for Gemini. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini, but you don't have to be. Oh man, I think you are not seeing eye to eye with someone. I think that there's trouble in the water, trouble in paradise for some of you. If this is a significant relationship, love relationship, family, friends, it doesn't really matter if it's romantic or not, but for some of you it will be romantic. Either way, I think you're of one mind and then someone else is of another mind, and you guys just can't get on the same page, and you're not really understanding where the other is coming from. You might not even be speaking, since these two figures are back to back. So like, that's not, I mean, unless unless this is like a spy movie, like a 007 thing, and you're like secretly passing messages to each other. But I'm just being facetious, because I don't really sense that is what's going on. I really get the sense that you are of a particular mind and someone else disagrees, or they are not recognizing what you're saying, or they don't understand what you're saying, they don't understand your point, they don't agree with you, and it's just disharmony is what I feel. And that's not the typical interpretation of that card. That's not the typical interpretation of the Lovers at all. But energetically speaking, that's what this feels like. Discord, misalignment, okay? And maybe that's it. Some of you might be missing an opportunity. Some of you might be missing a chance. I don't know that you're missing information, or if there is missing information here, it feels as though you're feeling someone is missing details, or they're the one who is coming up short, not you, right? So I feel a disconnect here, not in the sense of like a breakup, but if that's playing in your situation, you already know that. Yeah, it's just something is not flowing at all. And so you're kind of like, or someone here is kind of over that, because this is like, this energy, this Lovers feels like a circling of the drain. Like, we've been here before. We've been here for a while. I keep repeating myself. They keep repeating themselves. And it's like a broken record. Or there's been different approaches made to a situation, different approaches made to a conversation, different ways of presenting an argument, presenting a case, presenting an idea, and it just never gets off the ground, right? It never moves past the first few initial steps, okay? So if you've been wanting to work with someone on a project, creatively, or whatever the hell you're doing, right? And you've gathered up all the supplies, and you've given your team an outline of what to do. Here are our metrics, here are the goals that we need to hit. But there's someone else who's not pulling their weight, or there's someone else who doesn't contribute as much, or there's someone else who just doesn't value or respect what you're trying to do, or they don't recognize what you're trying to do, and therefore they're kind of like they're like a thorn in your side, or like a monkey wrench in your plans. And they might not be doing this intentionally, if I'm honest. I think many of them, whoever this person is, a friend, a family member, a lover, an enemy, whatever, I think a lot are not actually doing it with the intent to screw you over, or there's something about they're not here or you're not here fully. Like, there's a lack of connection. Like, I mean, I think you get what I'm saying tonally, because that's a lot of different ways. I'm sensing business relationships. I'm sensing friends and family. I'm sensing, lovers or spouses. So take your pick on what type of relationship that is, whether it's with a Gemini or not. It's just not flowing. Okay. It's not flowing. So what else happens for Aries? Please show me. So you're done with that. You're absolutely done with that. Absolutely, absolutely. Or if it's not you, it's whoever else is in the situation. But I get the sense that somebody is finally getting over having to try and make this work. Interesting. Having to, in some of your cases, you've had to try to make this work, okay? So that could be because of prior commitments. That could be because of contractual obligations. It could be for all the different reasons under the sun. But I feel as though those that this was mandated or obligated from you, you're just like, I've tried everything I could. I've tried to be the best XYZ person, fill in the blank here. I've tried to be the best business partner. I've tried to be the best husband or wife. I've tried to be the best, coach, whatever it is. There's something where you've had enough. Strength card, major arcana for Leo. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, but you don't have to be. You're finding your strength, your resolve. You're ready to move on to a different mountain. That's interesting. Move on to a different mountain. Oh, okay, yeah. Because there's like it's not really much of a mountain, but we see the lion figure and the female, how they're poised in like the grasslands, and then over there in the foreground, I guess, is this hill or mountain is what they put in my head. So you're ready for a different challenge. Aries does not like to waste their time. They don't like to keep beating their head in the same spot, despite your icon being a ram. I don't think rams bust their heads or their horns into something with the intention of just doing it over and over again. I mean, all fire signs have a bit of stubbornness to them. You've got Leo here, so that's another fire sign. So you could be dealing with a fellow fire sign. But I get the sense that you've been around this block so many times with this person or in this situation. And okay, thank you. It doesn't even have to be a specific person. Like some of you are trying to get an idea off the ground, or you're trying to create something, or you're trying to get someone to publish something, right? You could have written a book, or you could have, you may have created a graphic novel, or you might have created a wonderful new app or something like that. And you're trying to get buyers, you're trying to get backers, you're trying to get investors, and everybody is saying no, or they're giving you the runaround. And it's just like, you want to make something work. And so the move on to another mountain aspect is, Aries, you're not afraid of hard work. You're not afraid of paying your dues, of showing your worth, but it becomes tiresome either repeating the same situation, the same scenario, trying to get published, get signed, get someone to invest, or working with the same person who is a barrier, or the same person who shows reluctance, or the same person over and over and over again that you can't get on the same page with. So the strengths card is essentially like a fuck it. Like, I'm just going to move on to the next thing. So maybe you put that one book that, your manuscript on the shelf. Okay. Nobody's in the mood to buy a book about, nobody's interested in like an alien story, like a civil unrest among alien races. Like nobody wants to buy that book right now. And you go back and you pick up and you start, writing a manuscript on like, a romance at sea or some shit like that. Like it's not what you want to do, or it's that thing that you're used to doing, or it's like more acceptable, quote unquote acceptable. So I feel as though the niche thing, or the very novel thing, the very like special thing that you've been wanting to get off the ground, to get started, to have work between you and a partner is not it. So let me go back to the drawing board and do something else. The strength card is that. Facing another challenge, facing adversity, going against the grain, and not... Like, I'm not going to lie, you're slightly disappointed, but, most Aries, I would hope most Aries know themselves. Even if you're disappointed in whatever isn't working back here with the Lover's card, you're not going to sweat it for that long. Like, I have yet to meet an Aries that spends an extensive amount of time worrying or wallowing in what was lost and what was not, can't even get the word out, not even possible. Once something becomes an impossibility, which is hard for an Aries to get to that point. It's impossible. Let me try again. It's impossible. Let me try a third time. It's impossible. Let me try 468 more times, right? But then when it gets to 469, and if that's the tipping point for an Aries, then Aries is like, oh, that was my tipping point and now I'm done. So the mourning, quote unquote mourning, or the woe is me period, or the period of, oh man, that really sucks, is going to be really short for you. It's going to be so short, so small. And some of you have already been through this. You're like, yeah, I'm already approaching the next mountain, Jay. You don't have to tell me. Perfect. Because your progress away from this stalemate, away from this impasse, is really quick. You've got fire with the strength card, very ferocious, very can-do attitude with that Leo strength energy, right? And the fire the element of fire. And then you swiftly pick up speed with the Chariot. Some of you, like I said in the opening, some of you are on the move, okay? With quarantine loosening up in many parts of the world, many of us are getting back to business as usual, or trying to, get back to business and hit the ground running. So I get this sense of like proactivity so hard with you, Aries. Major Arcana for Cancer. I don't know if I said that. I might have. So there's a determination within you to move things forward, to go to a new destination, right? So if you're changing ideas, if you're changing partnerships, if you're changing locations, you're doing it, and you're doing it fast. And you're doing it, possibly some of you are doing it to recover, okay? Some of you are not. Okay, thank you. Some of you, part of your lack of mourning, quote unquote mourning, because I don't think this is about any type of mortal loss. I think you may have lost connections, you may have lost money, you may have lost time, but to make up for that, you're like full steam ahead. 0 to 100 in 5 seconds. You know what I mean? There's no rest for the weary, and there's no reason to rest because you're not weary. You have so much energy in you. You have so much determination and fire within you to get things done, to get yourself to the next point, or to see yourself connecting with new people who possibly can get on your level or get on your same page, right? So Aries, I feel you know what you're doing. You may or may not be stepping on some people's toes, if I'm honest, because the Strength card with the Chariot, that's like super boss energy, right? It's like, I'm not going to be told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, right? I'm leading my own ship, okay? Or I'm at the helm of my own ship here. I'm the captain, nobody else. So you might be in your Aries mood a little like, I'm going to do everything on my own, and anybody who has something to say about it, they can STFU and get out of my face. So you might be a little touchy, a little aggravated, a little irritable, maybe. And the speed in which you could be leaving a situation, the speed at which you could be leaving someone behind or moving on to the next project, it might be confusing to another person, and that's on them. That's on them. Because what I'm feeling is Aries is in their pioneer mode. If you don't know anything about Aries, if you're a cross watcher, or if you're not familiar with tarot or astrology that much, Aries is someone who makes their own path. They plot their own course. They are a pioneer. They see what they want and they go for it. Very determined, okay? That energy can be very off-putting to someone else, or it was confusing for someone, or it was too intense, or whatever. Because what I'm sensing up here is who's being left in the dust, or what's being left behind. What I'm seeing is indecision. Yes, thank you. What I'm seeing is indecision. On the top line there, 3 of Wands in reverse. This is a card, I'll show you in the upright just so you can see the artwork, but I'm going to still talk about it as if it was reverse. 3 of Wands reverse is, you know, it's a non-starter really. It's dead weight. Ooh, interesting. Dead weight. Yes. Ooh, go ahead, Aries. Some of you are losing dead weight. Maybe some of you are actually losing pounds at the gym. Maybe that's something that you're doing to get yourself, you know, back in a mindset, back in your inspiration. Who knows? But literally getting rid of people and situations and circumstances that don't serve you. Now, you don't intend to cut people off, or I'm sensing like a dismissal, like this hand motion, this go away, enough of that, you're dismissed, go, you know, that's kind of what I'm getting. Even if you're not, you know, queen or king of the castle, so to speak, even if you're not, you know, top dog in a company, even if you have no capacity to let someone go out of a corporation, out of a job, if you have no control, executive control over who is attached to a project or not, I feel as though you would, whoever's not about that business is not a part of your team. Straight up, period. Paragraph, as my mom would say. Period, paragraph. Okay? If you're not about making money, for some of you, this is about making deals and getting, you know, again, creative projects, innovations off the ground, what have you. If you're not about making money, if you're not about making progress in a relationship, friend, family, lover, otherwise, right? If you're not interested in signing my book or publishing my book or doing whatever, I'm not sticking around for you to, you know, toss me about or consider me. There's something, because when we're in the 3 of Wands and it's in the upright, right? That's a not a point of evaluation per se, but it's like I'm about to depart. It's like boarding a flight. You know, when you take a flight, you know, the process from leaving your house to actually taking off from the tarmac is several steps. The 3 of Wands to me is the boarding phase. You've got your passport in hand, or you've got your ticket in hand, or you're got whatever you're going to scan for the TSA or whatever. You're about to go through the what do you call that? The doorway? I forget what they call it. Oh, the skyway. Thank you. The skyway, I think is what they call it. You know, you're about to literally get on that plane when the 3 of Wands is in the upright. Because it's in the reverse, somebody is like not even in the terminal yet. Somebody's still at home packing their fucking bags. Like, no. Aries is already in their seat, ready to go. So there's a discrepancy between what you're ready to do, what you're capable of doing, and what someone else is willing and capable of doing. Could be a situation, could be the timing of a situation. You know, it's going to be different for all of your cases. But whoever's on the quote unquote other side of this, okay, remember? Oh, and there, I didn't even notice that. Look who's back there. Look who's poking up, poking their head around the back. A ram. And again, this is the Lover's card. This is associated with Gemini. But there you are, or there's one of your icons, a ram in the back of these people. So this is definitely your message, Aries, for those where it applies. It's still a general, so it doesn't resonate with all of you. But somebody is not ready for what you're able to do or ready to do. Now, why is that, or what's on their side? If you care, I think most of you don't even fucking care at this point. But if you are interested in knowing, here's what's happening. The Moon card in reverse. Major Arcana for Pisces. Some of you are dealing with a Pisces, but you don't have to be. Okay. What's going on is, I don't even want to say emotional disruption because it's so quiet. Like, look at this scene, just so you can see in the upright. Look how barren that landscape is, right? Just that one dead ash tree in the back and like a dead field, and it's all shadowy and it's quiet. It's super quiet. So this person or these other people that are involved, they're not going to vocalize that they're confused by you or intimidated by you, or, you know, like I said, some of them, they might want to work with you, but they're not expressing that. They're caught up in their thoughts. They're caught up in, you know, I just get this feeling of caught up, like stagnant, dead in the water, wasting away, wasting time, wasting effort. And it's just like, I don't sense a person on this top line who is super productive. I really don't. I don't get the sense that this person can match your commitment, can match your energy, your desire, your lust, if I'm honest, for whatever you're after. And if this is about a relationship, because the only reason I'm going back to that truly is because of the Lovers. This is very singular energy on both lines, but there is an entanglement, there is an overlap, there is a connection in the Lovers. If this is a relationship between friends, family, lovers, otherwise, right? You are intently set on something, and this person is over there flapping in the wind. Thank you, Nana. My grandmother is one of my guides, for those who don't know. I don't think I've really ever said that publicly in a video, but there you go. And it's not a secret. She's one of my guides. And one of the things she always used to say about people, to kind of dismiss them as being sort of out to lunch or not to be worried about, not to be bothered about, is that they're flapping in the wind. This person is flapping in the wind. They don't know whether they're coming or going. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they can contribute, what they want from you, what they want from themselves. This person's involvement to the commitment, to the relationship, to the partnership is just gone. Or, if not gone, stuck. Stuck. And there's something that they have to grow in this time of stuckness. And that's not for you to hold their hand with. Not that you want to anyway. Okay, I don't get a sense that Aries wants to wait around on somebody who doesn't know what they want. And I mean, you might have some sympathy and you might have some empathy for this person, but ultimately I feel such a drive in my gut, in my solar plexus, really, Aries, on your behalf, that says go, go, go. Stop holding back. Stop waiting around, yeah? And this person is waiting around. And they don't necessarily know it, because that's the thing with the Moon in the reverse. I don't get the sense that this person recognizes that they're doing this. I don't get the sense that they recognize that they're the one who's like holding everything back, or they're the person who basically, you know, they may have wanted to work with you if this was a professional setting, right? They may have wanted to make things work with you, to publish your work, or give money towards your investment, or invest in your company, whatever it is, right? They may have wanted to, but they've got such a, it's like a collapsing, what is this? Like a sinkhole. Thank you. It's like a sinkhole. Okay. For those who don't know, my guides are also, not only is my grandmother one, but my guides in general speak to me through television and movies, because it's what I've observed mostly throughout my entire life. Movies, music, and television. I'm a couch potato of the 80s. What can I tell you? So, there's a movie called The Money Pit. Okay? That's Tom Hanks and Shelley Duvall? No, not Shelley Duvall. Oh God, I don't remember her name. Oh, that's terrible. That's not her name. Her name is not Shelley Duvall. I don't remember. Anyway, Tom Hanks is in this movie, The Money Pit, and he buys this new house with his girlfriend or whatever, this old mansion, and it's a fixer-upper, right? And in one of the scenes in the movie, he's walking across the floor, and there's a big hole in the floor, but a rug covers it, and he sinks into the rug, and he's stuck there, up to his neck, stuck. If you know this movie, you kind of know the scene. If not, I swear to you, Google Money Pit fall through the floor. You probably could find it. That's what I feel this person is. They're just motoring along, going along, not really, caring about much or worried about much, and then they sink into this one place and they're stuck there. That's what happens to Tom Hanks in that scene. He was doing something very regular. I think he was reading the paper or like walking across the room, not really worried about falling through the floor, but he did. And he doesn't fall to the floor below. He gets stuck in between the floors, in between the upstairs and the downstairs. And his wife or his girlfriend is the one who finds him there. And she's like, oh, this is so funny. She's laughing. But he's like, no, I'm actually miserable. I don't want to be here like this. Because he's stuck there for hours. He's calling out for help for hours. Now, that person up here, they may not be calling out for help, but they've been stuck for a while. They've been in between the upstairs and the downstairs. And they're not, non-committal is what that means. Non-committal. Stuck between one or two options, right? Or stuck between two options, stuck between two places. Possibly stuck between two people. I'm not sensing a third party situation, but for those who it applies to, you've got the Lovers, you do have a 3 with the 3 of Wands, and I'm just sensing a discord here. I told you that from the beginning. So you might have someone who you are married to or want to be married to, you're committed to, or you want to be committed to, and they have their eye elsewhere, or they have their intentions elsewhere, or their heart is elsewhere. Now, I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody because I don't know the details, but that's a possibility for some of you, okay? And your girl Jay doesn't use third-party situation often because I don't jump on that because it has to come through. It came through a little bit here, so I will entertain it. So this Moon card, anything else? Oh, right. Notice how the female, is sort of trying to distract the rabbit. Like, I don't have this little ball behind me. I don't have a little piece of moon rock behind me. What are you talking about? Go over there. Go look over there. So there's something about distraction or what do you call that? Oh, I forget what it's called. Fuck. It doesn't matter, but I think you get the point. So this person is just not playing, in some of your cases, this person is not playing in a forthright way. They're not revealing all of themselves or all of what they're thinking or feeling due to the Moon card, okay? Final card for them on the top line is the Wheel of Fortune. Secondary major arcana for Sagittarius, and also represents the fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. That's a lot of fire, because you're a fire sign, so you're here by default. And Leo was here and Sagittarius are here. So some of you are definitely dealing with fire signs, but you don't have to be. It's still just a general. Listen, this person has to grow. This person has to learn something. They have to reflect upon something. And given time, they will get to some type of resolution or some type of insight, but I don't think that has shit to do with you, because by the time they wake up, you're out. By the time they realize what has happened or what needs to happen or what they should be contributing to a situation, you've gone and started to conquer, started to climb up a different mountain. So if this is about a relationship, maybe some of you are at that point in the relationship where this person is calling you up, and saying that they miss you, saying that they love you and that they made all these mistakes and that they've grown and they're a better person. But it's just like, are you serious? I'm already done with you. I'm already done with you. So I'm not sensing a current breakup. I mean, some of you do too. Okay, fine. They're like, given that we're all on different timelines, right? In a collective energy, right? Leos, Aries, Gemini, Virgos, whatever sign it is, right? within that collective of people that are born under that astrological sign, we're all on different timelines. So you, Aries, whoever you are, I'm pointing to you right now, you could be experiencing this now. The other one next to you could be experiencing this 2 weeks from now. And someone else here has experienced this 2 years ago. Okay. So wherever you are in that timeline, the end of the, the end of the matter is Aries moves on. And I've been saying it the whole time, but please also understand it is a general. This could have been flipped the entire time. Aries can be on the top, and whoever you are, cross watcher, you could be on the bottom. So please take it with a grain of salt. But in the time that someone is spending, or has to spend, or is sort of, they're showing me a laundromat, so they're in the thank you, the cycle that someone is in right now, or whenever they're in it, whether it was 2 years ago or 2 days ago, right? Whenever this person is in this cycle, they will grow from this experience. And they have to know that. Aries, you could be sitting there going, I'm a good thing. I'm a good catch, or my idea is brilliant. Everything that I'm putting on the table here is viable. It's effective. I'm a great person to date. I'm a wonderful business partner. I would make an incredible addition to this company. I should be the leader of XYZ department. You know your worth, and you know what you bring to the table. This person has to spin the cycle or be in the cycle until they realize that. And by the time they come out, many of them will learn it's way too late. It's way too late to ask Aries to come back. It's way too late to ask Aries to come to a certain agreement or come and join this partnership. Aries is like, no, man, I'm out. Absolutely. Outcome. For you, Aries, in May is the Devil card. Lots of major arcana. Just before I get into this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 of your main cards are all majors. You get to your outcome, that's 6 cards total in your reading that are major arcanas. What does that mean for those who don't know? That means your life at this time, or this aspect of your path, this aspect of your journey, is being overseen by the cosmic powers that be. If you want to call that God, if you want to call that spirit, if you want to call that the universe, if you want to call that the void, if you want to think it's nothing, whatever you believe in or don't believe in is actually influencing this moment for you and this other person or other people. So rest assured, whatever's happening, there's a reason behind it. And that's for you to determine. That's for you to discern. It's not for me to tell you, okay? But your outcome is the Devil. Major arcana for Capricorn. So you're in control. Or yeah, I was about to say, or is it someone else? They're like, no, it's Aries. You're in control here. You're back on your perch. You're back on your throne. You're back in your position of power. And it's personal power. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to you. So like I said, some of you were kind of in the moment back here with the Lovers when you had this misalignment with someone. Maybe you were thinking, okay, maybe my idea isn't that great. But then, as an Aries tends to do, after 1 or 2 moments of self-doubt or considering, maybe I'm wrong, you come back and it's like, nope, I'm right. So, and again, this is not, fact. This is how you perceive yourself, or this is what the perception of the situation will be from other people, is that you're stepping back into your power, okay? Perceptions are not facts. They're just, personal truths, okay? So I perceive that you perceive yourself as being back in the saddle and back in control of your life and back in control of the situation at hand. Okay. Maybe some of you were looking for someone else to publish your work. You're like, maybe for 2-3 months, you go do a side hustle, or you go do some gigs, or you go back to that corporate life and you make a lot of money real quick, or you tap into your savings and you publish yourself. You find some way to get to a goal that you want, because that's the thing about the Devil, which again is tied to Capricorn energy, which is also then tied to Capricorn energy, is tenacity. Very similar to the determination that we talked about with the Chariot and the Strength card. You are so set to get what you want. You're kind of obsessed with it. Okay? And these are all aspects of the Devil which can be read in a positive or a negative light. And I'm reading them to be a mostly positive light. The power, the position of power, the control, the willpower and it's almost like manifesting, but I don't want to say that it is, because I don't think most of you are sitting there working through this through your dream journal, working through this, with your dream boards. And I don't think many of you, I mean, some of you are, absolutely, some of you are, but I don't think this is a actual, like, I wrote about it in a journal and then 2 weeks later it came true. It's like, no, I think many of you have put in hard work, practical steps. You've reinvested yourself where you need to. You've taken money and your ideas, and you've moved it here. You had it over here in this first column or this first area. It wasn't working, so then you rewrote some things, and you reworked what needed reworking, and now you apply it to this situation and it works. Like, almost like solving a puzzle, So you've definitely invested in yourself, invested in your own abilities to get something done, to put yourself in a position of control over just yourself or the situation at hand. So in the case of those where this is work and you were trying to get promoted, or you were trying to get yourself into a higher position, right? This company doesn't want to hire you at that position. You put your resumes out to another company, and boom, you're hired. You didn't have to, you know what I mean? You didn't have to jump through all these hoops, or, you retweaked your resume a little bit, and then you went in there and you aced the interview. Boom, you got the new job. You are suddenly promoted at another company, and your old company is like, but wait, Aries, come back. And you're like, no, man, I'm going to my new job, and they're paying me $5,000 more a year than what you were offering me. Screw you. It's like that. If this is about a relationship where someone might come back and say, hey, Aries, I'm ready to date you now. Or, hey, Aries, I want to get back together. Or, I'm sorry about XYZ. Or, I want to make our marriage work after, for 4 or 5 years, I was sitting stuck between the upstairs and the downstairs, not doing shit. You're kind of like, no, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. There's like hard yeses and hard nos coming off of that devil card. There's not a lot of gray area. And again, I said that when I was talking about your bottom line. There is a tendency that could be really off-putting to other people, and it can be hurtful to other people. So, you be careful and you approach that situation as you see fit, Aries. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good as an outcome, okay? Your overall energy is the Queen of Wands. So here's some more fire sign energy, okay? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So here you are again, or again, you could be dealing with another fire sign, okay? Regardless, this person, which again I think is you, is super creative, is very passionate, is... as abrasive as some of you guys can be or have been, there's still a little bit of tender love and care inside of you regarding the other people in the situation, especially if they're friends and family, especially if they're people that you have bonds with. If it's someone that you don't know, if it's just the HR manager, you see that person like, a few times a year at the company picnic, like who cares, right? But if these are significant people in your life, you don't want to dismiss them without saying, but I still love you, right? You don't want to walk away from them or say, I can't do this any further with you without giving a reason why, or trying to help them understand how you came to that decision. You know what I mean? There's something here where just as strong as you are, just as fierce and accomplished as you are, Aries, you're also being very caring and loving towards people as best as you can. And that's a hard road to walk, or that's a hard nuanced line to kind of fluctuate between, but that's what this feels like. I could be so dismissive, and I could be so, I could be a mean SOB to somebody because they've disappointed me, because they've strung me along, because they've wasted my time and my energy and my effort, or even in some cases money. Even though you don't have any pentacles here, there has been this aspect of investing actual cash with people, right? And the Queen of Wands suffers no fools. However, you may have been dealing with a pair or a set or one single fool this entire time. So it's more complicated when you're dealing with someone who has been acting as a buffoon, as a dummy, basically, how some of you are viewing this person, but you love them, but you care about them, but you wish them well. So I think you have, for some of you, not all, the task of being nice, but then also being stern, being forgiving, but then also holding the line and not letting your boundaries waver. You see what I mean? I hope you get what I mean, okay? Aries, that is your reading for May 2020. If you liked it, the like button is down below. Hit that for me. If you want to let other people know that you like my stuff, feel free to share the video. If you want to leave a comment, let me know how this resonated. You guys know I love that stuff. That would be amazing. And if you have not subscribed, my friends, please consider subscribing to my channel. Aries, I'll be back soon with your mid-Mays and then your June and all that kind of stuff. I might. Shh. No, I might at some point do a surprise live for the entire collective. Been working with my guides, thinking of different ways to really interact with the community and make sure that the channel stays alive. So I need to give more out to you guys on a more regular basis. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. And you will know if I go live if you subscribe to the channel. Also, again, consider going over to Instagram and following me there. And of course, friends, if you want a reading, that information is down in the description box, okay? Aries, I will be back to see you soon in the mid-Mays. I look forward to seeing you then. Take care.